Hey guys, Ponce here on the Public Test Realm. Here to show you a brief preview of the Xerath remake thing they have going on here. The changes are quite extensive. I'm not sure who's been changed more, him or Heimerdinger, the other video I just put up, but they're both quite interesting. Unlike Heimerdinger, however, Xerath is missing sound effects and possibly some particle effects right now, so the look is a bit incomplete. But yeah, his abilities are quite different. I'm just going to read over what they do, and then I'll show you guys all the abilities in action. So his passive is now somewhat different. Xerath gains 4% spell penetration. The spell penetration goes up a bit per level in several tiers. Not sure what it maxes out to. But other than that, every 10 seconds, Xerath's next basic attack restores 4% of his maximum mana, so in my case, 21 mana. Attacking an enemy champion restores 3 times the amount instead, so I'd get about, you get 63 mana back if I auto-attack the champion. That's not bad, pretty good form of sustain. I do miss the old armor thing, but I didn't play Xerath, so I'm not going to comment on that too much. So his Q or Pulse, Xerath charges and then fires a beam of energy, dealing magic damage to all enemies hit. Charging the spell increases its range. So if I recall correctly, the basically compared to the old Xerath thing, I'll link to the post in the description where the Riot guy's talking about it, but it deals slightly more damage, but it's kind of a combination of his old W, I think it was, where he goes stationary and gets extra range, and his basic one. So what you do is you charge it up, and you have several seconds to shoot wherever you want. You can move while doing this. And if you take too long, the spell cancels. But yeah, so you charge it up, and the range increases, and then you can shoot it off. And I'll show you how short the minimum range. See where the minimum range is? That's right there. That's pretty short. So it'll only go about that far if you do the minimum range possible. Next we have the W, the new W, Cosmic Strike. Xerath calls down a blast of arcane energy, dealing magic damage to all enemies within the target area, slowing them by 10% for 3 seconds. Enemies in the center of the blast take 60% or extra damage and are slowed by 35% instead. So this is kind of like his old ultimate, except it's not his ultimate now. It's a basic spell. It just looks like that when you do it. Like I said, it's missing a sound effect, so it's not quite done yet. Next we have his E, Spell Sphere. Xerath unleashes an orb of raw magic, dealing 100 magic damage. The orb explodes on contact, stunning its target for 1 second. So it's kind of a combination of, I guess, his Q and his old, what's it called? The skill, not the skill shot base, but the targeted stun thing that he had. So now his stun has been rolled into a skill shot, which looks like that. It's just kind of a ball that goes forward. It looks a little bit like Syndra's ability. So that's kind of interesting. Like I was saying, basically his kit, basically what he does is more or less still the same. It's just kind of shuffled around into like different areas. But finally, let's have his ult. I'll show you his ult. Xerath ascends to his true form, briefly gaining arcane vision of a large area around himself. He becomes rooted in place, and his basic abilities are disabled, but he gains 4 shots of a very long distance magic artillery. By long distance, they're not kidding. It's really long distance. I'll show you guys in a sec. Fire these shots off with left or right mouse button. The effect lasts up to 7 seconds or until deactivated, so he remains rooted in place for up to 7 seconds. While Ascension is active, Xerath takes 10% less damage. He cannot be moved or by displacement effects, but they briefly stun him. So I'll show you that in a minute against some minions or something. I'm just going to use my abilities on minion waves, and when there's a bigger wave, that is. So I'm going to charge this up, and that'll go that way. So his Q is basically not too much different. Obviously, there's the charge up thing. This is his E. That's what it looks like on minion waves. I'm kind of under leveled, so the damage is going to look underwhelming, but you know, it's because I just don't have any items and stuff. And I've been in the jungle making a video. And next we have his skill stun shot. He just dodged out of the way. That's going to hit him like that. You can hit people like that. And once I stun him, I'll use my ult. I'll show you. Ult's going to take a bit more to show, because it's kind of interesting. Stun, see that? And I'm going to go back into the bush here. I'll show you how big his ult range is. So look at this. I press the button. I can see everything here, and this is like the So I can cast that 4 times. That's a pretty big range. Alright. Oh, I'm gonna get killed by a minion. Alright, let's run away. Yeah, so there you have it. That is how Xerath works. I'll show you one more time just how big the radius is. See, I'm going to highlight my ability. That's the radius here. I'm down here. I can shoot my artillery in like anywhere in this circle here. So that's pretty cool, I think. That's sort of neat. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the remake. Thank you to our assistant Cynical Giant. This is Xerath Rework version 3, according to his name. But yeah, maybe I'll do some gameplay videos of it and stuff when like the actual particle effects and stuff are in, and the sounds, because it's kind of weird playing it without any sounds. But yeah, hopefully you found this informative, and if you're a Xerath player, well, you have this to look forward to experiment with on your own. And like I always say, this is a public test ROM. None of this stuff is completely final, so yeah, this could very easily change. But see you guys around. Goodbye.